Right, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. Some good news, right? There's an interview with Michael Arts, right, the CEO of Atari, you know. Now, if you type in Atari VCS on Google and if you go to news, you'll see it there, right? It's called gamertag Radio. And they're interviewing Michael Arts, the COO of Atari, and he's talking about the Atari VCS, right? So, now he's confirmed a few things, right? First of all, July 2019, right? Yeah, the Atari VCS is on track, you know. Also, everything else that we know about the Atari VCS, right? It's going to be a PC, essentially. That's what he's saying. It's going to be a Linux based PC, but it's going to be an open system, okay? Now, they're asking him, in terms of power, like, will the Atari VCS be on par with an Xbox One or PS4? He said no. He says it's going to be on par with the Switch level of power, which is still pretty awesome in my opinion. Um, so they asked him, what about controllers and stuff like that? Well, he says you can use any Bluetooth controller. You can use an Xbox controller, PS4 controller. Now, they'd love it if people bought their joysticks and controllers, but you don't have to buy them, you know. So that's great. Now, I'm getting the Atari VCS Collector's Edition with the joystick and the modern controller. But like, these fellas were asking questions like, why did you release an Atari VCS with no controllers? And he says, well, you don't have to use our controllers. You can use an Xbox controller, any Bluetooth controller, you know, which is awesome. So, yeah, now they start asking questions like, what games are going to be coming out for the Atari VCS, and what about apps, you know? Well, he says they're in talks with studios and other developers, and they're trying to get their attention. Atari have to impress these people that the Atari VCS is going to be a good seller, because once that happens, developers will make games, you know. But for right now, it's going to be the Atari Vault built in, right? Indie games and uh, stuff like that, you know. But he says like he's confident that the Atari VCS will do well enough, so uh, bigger developers, other developers will make games for it, like just like the Switch League, you know. Uh, but that's if it's accessible. There's gonna be enough there, he says, for anyone to enjoy the Atari VCS League, you know. He says that the whole so and apps now it's gonna have an internet browser. It's gonna have the same capabilities as a PC. So they asked him the question, what about apps like Netflix and Twitch and so forth? And they said, well, right now they're in talks with them developers to get these apps on. But for right now, when we get the Atari VCS out of the box, right, he says you're gonna have the Atari Vault built in with over 100 Atari classic games. You're gonna have access to the sandbox mode, where you can put your own software and operating system onto it. It's gonna have an internet browser, so you can get YouTube and stuff that way. You know, until the actual separate apps come out, which will happen. It's just the same thing with the Switch. When the Switch first came out, there was no apps around, but YouTube eventually came to it. So he says he's hoping the same things will happen, and they should happen. But if they don't, it's a PC. So anything a PC can do, the Atari VCS can do, which is awesome in my opinion. You know. So then they asked him the question: why should anyone want to get this? What's the Ouya was a failure. The Nvidia Shield, uh, people are gonna think that the Atari VCS is just like this. So what are you guys gonna offer that these guys couldn't? You know. Well, he says like Atari have like a great heritage. They got a great franchises, so they have that to choose from, and they're gonna be updating their old classic games. He said, but he says like homebrew games and other stuff. he says like the Atari community is a big one, so that's a big difference than the Ouya and the Nvidia Shield, you know. So it's gonna be the whole thing. He says is it's gonna be open. It's not gonna be a closed system like the Xbox or anything like that. So all this is awesome, you know, which I'm very happy about, you know. So but another great thing is Nolan Bushnell has seen it and he likes it, and apparently once a month he talks to the CEO Fred Sadness and he likes what he sees. So that's fucking awesome, you know. Which is great. And if you don't know, now like Nolan Bushnell and Ted Nabney founded Atari and they made the Atari 2600 and VCS. So he likes what he's saying, you know. So so he says that there's going to be more updates to come, and at E3 coming, they'll have something planned, you know. So awesome, you know what I mean. So that's it. So this interview, it's on yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Like that's just that. So if this interview with Michael Arts, the Atari COO, if you type in Atari VCS in Google and go to news, you'll see the interview there. Like, you know, so that's pretty much it. So I can't wait till July till it comes out. You know, it's gonna start off slowly, like any other console, but it now they asked me the question, what about updates and stuff like that? He says, well, the same thing will happen, you know. You see update and you press update, just like a computer or Xbox or something. So he says it's gonna work the same way because it's a PC, like, you know. So yeah, he says that there's gonna be more updates to come and stuff like that. But it is coming out and it will come out. He's just hoping that it's a huge success, like I do. And if it is, it'll attract other developers and stuff. Just like the Switch, like, you know, it'll start off slowly like the Switch, and it'll gain momentum. That's what he expects, and I think it will happen, you know. So, because like Atari have a huge fan base, and that's the reason why it won't be a failure like the Ouya or the Nvidia Shield. So that's what he says, you know. But it's an open system. You can use any controller you want. It's going to be in the same power level as a Switch. You said it's going to output in 4K 60 frames per second, but it depends on the game itself, like, you know. So that's it. I mean, I'm really fucking happy and excited. I can't wait. We've been waiting for this for over 20 years, just like all the rest of the Atari fans out there. So yeah, that's it. I mean, so this interview was great, in my opinion. Of course, if there's still a long way to go till July. It's only March now, so they've got a few more months to wait. So yeah, I mean that's it. He said, yeah. So thanks for watching. If you're watching, and I'll see you all there. Take care, bye bye.